I like to struggle a lot, I guess. I have a problem with that. Initially, my major was marketing, and when I went to marketing, I saw that there's a lot of people in there. For some reason, I was like, I can't have these many people doing what I'm doing, and I need something harder that no one wants to do. So I did accounting, which is not a great idea. So that's the only reason why I did it, with aspirations of joining the Big Four accounting firm, which after college, I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do.
We love the San Gabriel Valley. There are some amazing people and businesses here, and we think they deserve the spotlight. Welcome to the SGV Master Key Podcast. We'll have on the people that make the SGV great. We'll find out what makes them tick, their ups and downs, their history, and we're going to have fun doing it. This is the SGV Master Key Podcast. And now your hosts, Scott Warmoth and Russell Mano.
All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the SGV Master Key Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you spending this time with us, where we bring you guests from right here in the SGV. And our mission is to document and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. So if you're into that kind of stuff, don't forget to subscribe. Send us a message. Let us know how we're doing on our show. And if you're new to the show, welcome. We're excited to bring you another guest from right here in the San Gabriel Valley. All right, Scott.
It's your show today.
It is my show.
First off, you have to do all the production work because Victoria's not here.
Yes. She's on vacation in Italy.
So you're operating everything, plus you get to talk about your favorite subject.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I mean, I have many favorite subjects, but I guess I never really talked about how I eat on the show. Huh?
Yeah,
so it's sort of a mystery, right?
Yeah.
I'll preface it like this. So I've been in health and fitness, right, for many years, and I remember some guy came to me and he's like, "I bet you drive a Prius and you're a vegan." And I was like, "I have a V8 SUV and I only eat beef." He thought I was joking, but that's actually true.
But that's something relatively recent for you, meaning in the last, I don't know, maybe 5 years?
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, because you used to eat a variety of foods.
I used to, that's right. Actually, so being in health and fitness for so long, I would say for the majority of that time, I just followed what my peers were saying and doing. And I was so young and fit, like I could drink beer and, eat pasta or pizza, and I was still like ripped. Like I wouldn't trust anybody under 30 with food advice, okay? Because I was just so fit. And as the years started to pass, I would watch people and their clients and myself struggle to feel good, feel like they're thriving and eating the right way. And I just thought to myself, like the brown rice and chicken breast and the broccoli, it just can't be it, And I would feel bad for saying to people like, "Oh, you just need to try harder, right? To eat this like food that just is not that pleasing.
It's not natural to eat."
Right. And so my journey to finding a more, I guess, sustainable way of eating led me to doing some intermittent fasting. And I never really went the keto route because I thought, food shouldn't be so technical and planned and all these things. Right? I should just be able to eat and enjoy. So the rigid, and I'm not so much on like the micronutrients or weighing my food and figuring out all these numbers. It should be easier than that in my mind, right? And I came across someone speaking about eating meat, primarily meat. It sparked my interest. I was like, let me investigate this more, right? So I learned about it, I would say, for maybe a month's time. And when I dove into carnivore, I would say carnivore plus, because we eat fruits, and meaning non-sweet fruits and sweet fruits, right? And initially, I was like, well, I'm going to have all the protein. I'm going to have chicken and pork and beef and fish and all this. And the people who had been in that community for a while, they said, just eat the beef. One, it's better for you and you'll like it. Just do it. Took me 3 months to figure out. And I was like, yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but I do remember you describing to me how you observed your cat.
Oh, yes.
And your cat only ate, beef, right?
Well, now she eats chicken liver and beef, but before, so she was 14 or 15, eyes were all glazed and, not looking well. The hair was looking dull, and she was sort of just aging. And for one Thanksgiving, we forgot to put the turkey away, and she got into the raw turkey on the counter. So it's a $60 bird, right? So we're like, okay, what are we going to do with this? So we just chopped it up and gave it to her. I mean, that's a lot of meals for the cat, right? From that one bird, her weight went down, her eyes cleared up, she was agile, she was moving again. She was a completely different animal. And I was like, what? I can't believe this. And she was on kibble her whole life. So now for the whole time, she's also only eaten meat. What's amazing is like she hardly ever has like a bowel movement, which some people would say it's bad, but I think it's normal, right? So her bowel movements are like every 10 days.
Wow. But she's old.
She's old, but there's almost zero smell. Nobody can walk into my place and think that there's a cat. My friends who are extremely allergic to cats, Joseph from the gym came by, and when my cat walked by, he was shocked because he's like, I should be having an allergic like fit right now. I can't believe I'm not having a reaction. And this has been the story with other people who have been reacting to or not reacted to carrots. I think it's because they're purging.
Carrots is the name of your cat.
Yeah. They're purging, or the cats are purging somehow the plant material that they're not supposed to be eating, because felines are actually carnivores, so.
Yeah, and I remember you noted how her sheen was bright and shiny and beautiful.
And so even now today, she's still like rabbit fur, very soft. My neighbor who came by, her cat, who is the same age, died. And so she came by to see if Carrots was okay. And I said, oh yeah, here she is. Still like very vibrant and healthy. Wow. So anyway, that's my cat. But yes, my family and I, we buy about 2 sides of beef. So 1 cow a year. And so we're eating a lot of beef. Well, do you like beef, Scott?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I mean, I certainly liked the prime rib I had last night.
Well, I absolutely love beef. I think it tastes great. I think it's great for you.
I eat a lot more of it now once you started telling me about how you eat. So I used to think, I'm supposed to eat broccoli and spinach, and I don't feel bad about just eating beef now. And
good.
And yeah, well, like you, I try to just eat what I want to eat rather than, regulate it so much. Yeah.
So people are probably wondering why we're talking about beef and all this. And I'm excited to learn and hear our guest story today. His name is Josh Ma, and he's the founder of Ligma Provisions. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Are you surprised now about our excitement about beef? Or
Yeah, I am. I'm interested in the carnivore diet. So when you do that, is it raw or cooked or a combination of both? Because I know people, they mix that up together.
Sure. I've never sought after learning how to go about raw. I know people do that. It's just I'm not a fan of raw beef most of the time. Like I'll do like a Korean yuke with the egg and pear. But yeah. So it's mostly like carnivore is animal protein for the majority of your food. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, going back to your point, you might not like broccoli, but if it makes you feel better, the cow is eating the grass and the broccoli for you, so they're absorbing all the micronutrients already. The way I see it.
Yeah. Right. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Well, Josh, this show is called the SGV Master Key. What is your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
So I was born and raised here, or Monterey Park specifically. So I grew up in Monterey Park. Went to high school in Rosemead, and I spent most of my adult life here. My first job after college was in Monterey Park.
Okay.
So yeah.
Where about? I grew up in Monterey Park. So whereabouts did you grow up?
I grew up near Sequoia Park.
Is Sequoia on the hill?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Behind Elac and the hill.
Yes.
So that's where I grew up, and then I went to school down the street, middle school. It's called St. Thomas Aquinas. It was a Catholic school.
Okay.
And then for high school, I went to Don Bosco Tech, which was an all-boys Catholic school. Yeah, that was
That's just right over here in San Gabriel.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did you say it was a fun time?
Yeah, I mean, I said
was that sarcastic?
Yes.
Okay. Why sarcastically?
Well, because you just around a bunch of guys all the time. I mean, we have a great time together, fooling around. But when you're not around girls at that age, you go to college. you don't know how to talk to them.
Oh, I see.
So it was kind of funny.
Usually
in that
there's
way.
like a sister school.
There was.
Is there?
Yeah, we have a Ramona Convent
Oh, yes.
or Mission, and we would have dances with them. But I mean, you don't have classes with these people, so it's kind of what do you do? You just see them.
I see. Do you know where Sequoia Park is? In Monterey Park?
I can't identify it. No,
It's like behind Cascades Park, right?
That's
behind the waterfall.
up there.
Yeah. So you take a road and it sort of winds and goes all the way to the top.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember having like socials there. There's a basketball court, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Socials.
Yeah. Like a community service clubs, YMCA service
Okay.
clubs.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
we would have some with other guy clubs or sometimes with another a girl club. Yeah. That's how I know that park. But it's really secluded. Like,
It is.
yeah. It's at the top of the hill, almost hidden.
It is. Yeah. I think I feel like I take it for granted almost, because it feels quiet. It's quite private. You have great walk. It's up in the hill, and at certain angles you can catch a glimpse of the downtown LA skyline.
Yeah. So Monterey Park has a lot of different areas, and that area is quite unique. Just like you said, it's like almost hidden, very quiet. There's not a lot of like outsiders
I
coming in.
seem to think there's some pretty nice homes up there.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. What would be a street up there? The name?
Let's see here. You have Ridgecrest,
Oh yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah, that's right.
Vagabond.
Yeah.
You take Cadiz all the way. It goes all the way up.
Oh yes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Cadiz is the one right next to.
The Domino's.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm just reminiscing about that whole
Yeah,
area.
right.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time. Okay, so you grew up in Monterey Park, St. Thomas. So you went to elementary school, high school at Don Bosco. So you sort of you really grew up here in the San Gabriel Valley.
Yeah, so spend most of my time here. I mean, when people always mention the valley, or when I hear about the valley on the news, I'm like, oh, that's San Gabriel Valley. But then they talk about this other valley, this A1A Valley. I'm like, what is that place?
Yeah.
Because even to this day, that's a foreign area for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because just that there's so much going on here. It's like, I thought we're the valley,
Sure. And so are you Chinese descent?
Yes, yeah. I'm Chinese descent, but my family, they were in South China, then they had to flee that communist war to Vietnam, and then they had to flee the other war to here.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just fleeing.
Oh, so they went from China in the 40s or 50s to Vietnam, and then after 75
Yeah, around
came here.
Yes. So I think my father came here around exactly. I think 75 or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Did they share those stories with you, your parents?
They did. Sometimes I don't know if they're made up or not, because to make me wake up early for school. They'd be like, they'd be like, we swam to America, we had to walk 10 miles to America. Like, and sometimes I feel like it's half truth. Like they had struggled a lot, but
Yeah, they did. I can guarantee you.
yeah,
They did. Yeah.
Embellished or struggle a lot?
Struggle a lot.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
struggle a lot and embellish.
And embellish.
Yeah, right.
Because it's a way for them to like passive aggressively tell you to
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah. Okay. And do you have siblings, Josh?
I do have two younger sisters.
Two younger sisters.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So what was life like growing up in San Gabriel Valley?
It was fun. It was really relaxing. I think growing up, it was a mixed bag, because in Monterey Park, we're right next to East LA. So growing up, most of my friends were like Hispanic, mostly Mexican. So I would always hang out with them. I would do Little League baseball in Monterey Park.
Monterey Park Sports Club?
That's right. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's still around, but I would do Little League baseball with them. Little whatever intramural basketball here. So I spent a lot of time here hanging out with them and exploring different cultures, like Asian culture and then the Latin culture. So it was fun for me growing up. It was just a melting pot. And here I felt like I had everything. You have the Arcadia Mall, the Montebello Mall, not to mention all the food options. You don't really have to go anywhere. So this is like my little bubble that I grew up in.
Wow. Okay. And so you wish that there were girls at high school.
I kind of did, yeah.
What happens after high school for you?
After high school, I went to the UC Riverside. I was there for 4 years. I studied accounting.
Accounting?
Yes.
Because your parents wanted that?
No.
Because you wanted that.
Yeah, I like, I guess I like to struggle a lot, I guess. I have a problem with that. Initially, my major was marketing, and when I went to marketing, I saw that there's a lot of people in there, and I don't know, for some reason I was like, I can't have these many people doing what I'm doing, and I need something harder that no one wants to do.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so I did accounting, which is not a great idea, but it was a skill to have, counting money, right? Debits, your credits, balance sheets, and stuff like that. So that's the only reason why I did it, with aspirations of joining the Big Four accounting firm, which after college I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. After college, my first job was an enterprise rent-a-car here in Monterey Park, right the border of Montebello, Monterey Park. And I would have a station here at the Lincoln Plaza Hotel, and I was doing a lot of sales. I was like number one sales back-to-back for a few months, and then I said, let's try accounting, and I did corporate accounting for them, and then I realized that this is not for me.
Well, I want to back up a little bit. So you knew that you liked to do hard things. Do you know where that came from? Like, how did that come to be in your life? Because that's not a natural thing.
It isn't. I just, if you pick a low-hanging fruit, anyone can pick a low-hanging fruit, and they can take whatever is yours, and I want something that if you're going to take what's mine, then at least it's a real challenge, right? Like, if it's in front of you, it's too easy. I mean, granted, like, if I could print money easily, then I would do that for sure. But it's just something that I can say that it belongs to me. Like, I struggle through this. I did it. If you can do it, that's cool. But the fact that not many people can, I gravitate towards that.
Oh, okay. So you were succeeding at enterprise.
Yes.
But you wasn't for you.
No, I enterprise taught me everything I needed to know about business, to be honest with you. But their approach to customers wasn't always empathetic, so I felt I felt distraught about it, and so I went into accounting, and then I wasn't really feeling the corporate accounting scene, so I kind of wanted to leave that place, and I kind of struggled with I had a little like quarter life crisis, I guess you could say, when you're in your early 20s, thinking about like, because when you're younger, you're like, I want to have some fun and do this job that's gonna be fun. And then you realize that you got to pay bills, and then you start questioning things and like, what can I do? So I was at that point where I was questioning like how I can express myself, but also have a job, or if I wanted to stick with accounting because it pays bills, so I was caught between a rock and a hard place.
Were you still with your parents at this time, or were you out on your own?
I was still living with my parents at the time.
Okay. Yeah, this is I know exactly what you mean. Like, it's a challenging moment to think like, what are you actually going to pursue, and is that going to be successful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because no one tells you the answer. When you go to college, you're only given a catalog of what you can study, but you're not really shown the things you can do out there, right?
How did your parents influence you? Were they in business, or did they do something similar to what you're doing?
Yes. So I think my father was a really good business person. I think he really cut his chops doing insurance sales, so they really hardened his skin. He's a really well-spoken person, and to back up a little bit, when my family came here, they kind of put all their money together, and they had this pharmacy in Chinatown, and then when that did well, they sold it off. They put their money together again, and they bought this food manufacturing company in Vernon, which they just made egg rolls and things of that nature. And my father came along, and he kind of expanded that business to do a little bit of food service. And then basically flash forward today, I added a different avenue to that, a different division that I control. And I kind of learned a lot of things from him about business, about having a good business mind. So I suppose a lot of things that I might have taken after him.
So you left corporate accounting, and then did you go to work with your father and your family company then?
Not right away. Ironically enough, I said, let's try marketing again.
Okay.
So then I was doing social media marketing for this denim company, just an intern, and then I went into mortgage banking. So let's go back into finance. And I was in Beverly Hills. I was going to become a loan officer. We were doing like loans for celebrities and actors and stuff like that. And this was around the time, let's see, like when the mortgage rates were about to raise up, maybe a decade ago.
Okay.
And everyone was going through that struggle, and my father was like, "You should come and help and work for me." And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that or not. But I said, okay, let me see what I can do over with you. And I did. And it was a big struggle. I regretted it for a very long time.
Because
Working with your dad?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's a tough cookie.
Really?
Oh yeah.
But do you still work with him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still work together.
Is it better?
It's better, but he comes from a school of hard knocks, So there's no pleasing that guy.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Is he still down at the office right now?
No, he's in Asia right now, so I'm kind of manning the fort.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I kind of have two jobs. I have to do my thing, and then I have to help do that thing. So,
Yeah.
Were you not aware of this side of your father outside of business, and it was a surprise when you joined him in business, or did you know that this was his personality?
I knew exactly what I was getting myself into, and I did it anyway.
Oh man, wow!
Because you like the hard things.
That's right.
I was like, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But
Wow, that's tough. That's tough.
yeah.
So you join him. You're not really feeling it, but you're sticking it out.
Yes. So I was going through a bit of a dark time during that time because I was like 25, 26, and I was like, I don't have something that it doesn't feel like mine, So then around this time, I was hanging out with one of my friends. He does photography, and then we started doing photography together. He would go to downtown LA, would climb buildings, and we would get in trouble, get kicked out, and he would go to concerts and take photos, and I felt alive from doing that. And we would sneak into festivals like Coachella and things like that just to take photos, and we would share it to people, and to see their reaction kind of really made me happy, and I started doing more photography during that time I was working with my father. And then I was contemplating on leaving, on doing PA work, production work, photography work to become a studio photographer. It wasn't until COVID all happened when Ligma became into fruition.
So tell us about that. Yeah, I remember you when we first spoke. You said it was sort of born out of COVID. Did it just happen to come up with this idea during that time, or had you been thinking about it previously?
I had never thought about it. It just happened. The whole meat thing, because my family business, we don't do these retail operations. We just provide. Let's just say we provide like a bulk meats to people like Restaurant Depot, and people can cut it themselves for restaurants, like big box in, box out. That's what we call it.
Oh, you provide like that's large quantity stuff.
Yeah,
really
so
large.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Okay.
They process poultry, pork, and they supply to other people.
Wait, when you say they process, are they slaughtering on site and cryovacuum?
They're not slaughtering, but they're further processing. It comes slaughtered already.
Okay.
And they're doing a service, which they're either portioning or they're taking the fat out, the skin out, the bone out, and they're getting it ready for the market or restaurant.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
So how did the idea for Ligma come about?
So it was probably my 30th birthday, and I had an Airbnb in Silver Lake, and then I wanted to treat my friends out, so I had like a pizza party, and then I also brought in some Wagyu. This is the first time I had maybe Australian Wagyu, and I was just having it for my friends, and they all loved it, and they still talk about it to this day. And it was just a special occasion thing. And when COVID happened, all the restaurants, fine dining, shut down. You couldn't go out to eat. You couldn't go anywhere. So everyone was stuck at home, and they're very bored. And one of my friends was like, he suggested that I should try offering to people, because people can't cook what they want at home. They can't go out. And I was very submissive about it. I didn't want to do it because A, it's very expensive, and B, I didn't think I wasn't very confident that I would be able to sell the product. I
know what Wagyu is. Maybe people have heard that name, but what is Wagyu?
So Wagyu, Gyu means the cow, and Wa is Japanese cattle. It's a breed of cow from Japan, and what's special about this specific breed is that there is a lot of fat inside of the muscle, as opposed to on traditional cows or cattle. They're on the outside of the muscle, and because of this, it lends to what we call marbling, or the fat inside. And the more marbling a steak has, the more tender, the more juicy, the more flavor it has, because fat is flavor.
Yeah.
So from there, we have Australian Wagyu and American Wagyu, which basically is a crossbreed. They take the Wagyu and they crossbreed it with the Angus or whichever breed of cattle is available to them, and you have like a 50-50 mix. And you can go further. You can get that 50-50 mix and mix it again with the purebred, and you can get a higher percentage of Wagyu genetics. So this whole game that they play in the industry.
Sorry, I'm so curious, but there's no producers here in the States making like A5 Miyazaki style or quality Wagyu, is there?
No, that'll be impossible. That will be impossible only because A5 is the grading system in Japan, and they do things way different in Japan. However, there are some ranches that have a full-blood Japanese cow here, but it does not come out the same way.
Oh.
In my personal opinion, the American Wagyu product has still a long way to go because each ranch does it their own way themselves. And in Australia, they follow guidelines and a feed plan, and it's very scientific over there. So they yield a much more consistent product.
How much comes from Japan versus Australia?
Let's see here. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember, but I do know that there is a tariff enacted that Japan is grouped into with, I believe, Brazil. And once that tariff is triggered, depending on how many metric tons is imported, the prices raise up by 25%, and that has already happened, and that should usually last a year. So right now, I'm paying 25% more for my Wagyu, but a specific number I don't know off the top of my head.
But it started in Japan.
Yes, it started in Japan.
How long has it been popular? Because I think it's a fairly new name to people here.
Yes, it's still new here, but it's been around for a very long time. I think that it was first imported here, I believe, in the 90s or earlier. But that's what I have done research on and to show. But as of recently, you see it everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah. I want to get back to your story. I'm interested in so much about beef. Here in the States, or even more so in California, people are all about the lean beef, and I look at that, I'm like, that's not going to taste good, and they have this idea that lean is better, right? That's a whole other conversation. And yet the prices for Select, as you know, is ridiculously cheap.
Yes.
And then the higher the fat content, it's extremely expensive. And I wonder how people reconcile that, for themselves. Why is this thing that's supposed to be really bad, very expensive, and the thing that's, much, much leaner, very, very cheap?
Well, I think it just brings up the preconceived notion of the word fat. People don't like fat. They don't want to be fat. They don't want to eat fat. And they have a hard time understanding that fat is actually flavor. And I try to tell people that you want your meat to have some sort of fat in it in order for it to taste good. And sometimes they don't really understand that, which is why I offer like a grass-fed product, which is typically more leaner, but to them, it's a healthier alternative, And it is in the fact that they're not grain-fed; they are fed on grass, so it's a little cleaner that way, just for that reason alone. But the taste is, I guess, a healthier taste.
Yeah,
I've noticed, over the last few years, as I've learned from you, actually, that you don't want you want some marbling.
Yeah,
if you want good taste, right?
Yes.
Now I had prime rib last night. Now where does that rank in terms of quality of cut or quality of taste?
Well, I think they cook the whole roast, so you would never cook like a high fat content piece of beef like that. That's what I think. Maybe unless you're going to Laurie's or something, so you would at most get prime level, right? But there's no sear on it, so it's enjoyed a very different way, Now
I like prime rib.
Do you go to Laurie's?
Do you eat a lot of it, or?
I think it refers to this style of cooking, but the cut I eat almost every day. I'm eating ribeye every day, but it's seared and grilled over coal, whereas the prime rib is slow roasted. Yeah.
Okay, I probably sound stupid to the two
No,
of you.
it's fine. Where did you have this prime rib at?
The Derby.
The Derby.
Yeah.
Oh, was it good?
Arcadia. Well, I liked the one I had 2 weeks ago better than the one last night, but.
Some au jus and some horseradish.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
Yes. And baked potato and
there you go.
cream spinach. Okay, I got my spinach.
It doesn't get any better than that, but
and the cheese bread.
and the cheese, you had all the fixings.
Yes. I had your typical prime rib dinner, but yeah, it was delicious. I like it.
As far as cuts go, that's as the best you can get, because naturally the ribeye would have the most amount of marbling in any cut without having to do anything. Even if you had a select grade.
But I have to admit, I cut that big piece of fat off and put it on the table. And
I usually don't eat that. That's why, personally, for me, I'm a New York strip guy. Because I like consistency. I like to cut it all into little strips and enjoy it. Yeah. For the ribeye, you have the cap. People love the cap, the spinal muscle.
Yeah, right.
And you have the actual eye of the rib.
Yeah.
So you have two parts, but you also get the nice glob of fat separates them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been cooking ribeye and specifically steak over charcoal. I would say out of 365 days, maybe 300 days a year, 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I love that.
So learning how to cook a steak and like perfecting just cooking steak, that's it. And I love it. I never take a steak, a ribeye off the grill and think, oh no, now I have to eat this again. I never think that. So
anyway. Me neither.
Are you a big beef eater yourself?
I'm vegan.
You're vegan.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, okay.
I am a big beef eater. I mean, I have to know my product. I have to know it well, and most importantly, above all else, I need to taste the product to make sure that it's not poisonous for my customer.
And for the listening audience who can't see Josh, like, you're not overweight. You look fit. You have, your skin is looking healthy and vibrant.
Oh, thank you.
That's how I would describe you right now.
Yeah.
And for some people, they think that their health is going to deteriorate, eating so much beef. But again, that's another story.
Well, I mean, I do put a lot of emphasis into my health. So, I like to work out quite often.
Awesome.
Have a skincare routine. So, I mean, if you want to live life, you got to treat your life like a job, right? Put in work.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Josh, we went off on a tangent there. But so the pandemic hits. Your friends are saying to you, you should do something with this. Where does it go from there?
It gets shelved for a while because it's so expensive. I'm at the point where I don't know if the people I know are going to receive this well. And he just keeps bugging me, and he says to me, Josh, how about this? I'm going to make you your sale and just buy it, and I promise you that it will sell. And I was like, you promise? He said, yeah, I promise. I was like, okay, you promise. So if anything happens, you're buying this. But so I went ahead and I purchased the Japanese A5, and I took it back to my place. I remember when I arrived, I was like, oh my God, there's no turning back now. I'm looking at this huge loin. It was $1,000. Like, what am I gonna do? So, mind you, I didn't know how to cut it properly at the time. So I had it open, and I just said, there's cat out the bag. We're selling this now. So my friend egged me on, and then at that point I got it. It took me some time to figure out how I'm gonna cut it, and I portioned them into steaks, and I posted on my Facebook. I said, hey everyone, just so you know, like, COVID and stuff, restaurants are closed. I have Japanese Wagyu for sale for a good price, and it's gonna be really good. If you guys want it, just please let me know. And the comments in one of my posts, they went viral.
Wow.
It was better than I thought. People were like, I want some. And I had people picking up from my house, my friends, your friends' friends. It was spreading, and I said, this could be a thing. And then so I went on YouTube, and I looked up every possible way that it could be cut, and how it's served, how people enjoy it, the thickness, because I don't want it to ruin it, because it's a big price to pay.
Yeah.
So after that first time, I did it again on my personal Facebook page. And it came to a point where I didn't want to be that person who's like, oh, there goes Josh again, jumping on a soapbox on his Facebook just trying to advertise something. So I don't want to be that guy. So I was like, okay, let me make my own page. So, then that's when the Ligma brand was born.
Wow. That's so cool. There's so many stories like that actually born out of COVID. Your friend, Lisa, was sort of also during that time, she started carrying cookies. But wow, okay. So it starts taking off, and
are you dealing only with Wagyu beef, or?
Yes.
Okay.
My whole goal was to just supply the best quality that I can. I think that's what I really gravitated.
So you said
to.
it was A5, so it came from Japan.
That's correct. It
Yeah.
came from Japan. It will come from Hokkaido or Miyazaki, and either ribeye or strip loin. I cut it myself.
And how did you know where to find it? It was through your friend?
No, I didn't. He gave me the idea, but it's because there's a small circle in the meat distribution world. There's very few players who are on the top that can import and bring things in. So I already had the connections. I already know where to look.
Okay.
I'm curious with A5, like, do you even need a cut like a ribeye? Couldn't you do like a chuck and it would still be really tender?
Yeah, that's true. You can take any lean cut there is, and it'll be very good. Some cuts might be tougher than most, but any cut, like picture any lean cut you might have. If it's A5, it will look spectacular.
Wow.
Yeah. But in American culture, ribeye is when you want a king of steak, it's ribeye.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you go to.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's what I brought the most.
So now you're dealing in high-end beef cuts.
That's right.
Yeah. Is it exciting for you? Is it hard? Like, did it meet your standard of being hard?
Yes, it met my standard of it being hard because I didn't know if I was going to succeed or not. But it also met my standard of having a product that people want, having something that people need. Because, you know, if I backtrack to when I was doing photography, what made me so happy about it also is that I provided something for people that they wanted. You know, I didn't have to get on my knees and beg for them to accept. You know, it was without a doubt.
You weren't trying to sell insurance.
I wasn't. Yes, I was. Yeah, people were not shooing me away. They were welcoming me in. I was like Moses parting the Red Sea. You know, like they would do anything for me, and that felt also pretty gratifying. So to have a product that people loved, it made me really happy, and that made me want to go even further to see what I can do to grow the brand. And so I would bring in different type of cuts. Then I would reach out to farms in Australia to try to get their product and carry that. And then I started a small relationship. And mind you, I was doing this by case basis until I grew enough volume to bring maybe like a half pallet of product in there. So it was hard in the fact that, you know, I wasn't really a big shot, but I was just taking very baby steps, and I had to trust the process.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if there are other Wagyu, you know, sellers or dealers or purveyors here in the San Gabriel Valley. I only know maybe Costco carrying some and Alexander Meats.
Yes.
They have. I've walked in there and I've seen a whole ribeye, you know, A5 in there. But other than that, I mean, you can't just go to any store and get this. And who are your customers? I mean, who's buying these high expensive cuts?
So now, let's see, I sell a lot online for e-commerce. I have a few restaurants that carry the product that I source for. And I also at the Alhambra Farmers Market, which I opened up shortly after I had my Facebook page. Because, you know, during that time when I made my page, there was this group on Facebook called SGV Eats.
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with that page.
Yes, I am.
So, yeah, so that's where that page helped me grow tremendously. And during COVID, that'll be the place to meet all my customers, and I'll tell them where I'll be, what I would have, and I'll have specials, Thanksgiving special. I'll have a special, and I'll post it maybe like once a month, and I'll meet customers at the parking lot of Sprouts on Main Street in Alhambra.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of the customers that were with me since day one, I still talk to them, you know, because they've been loyal to me. We kind of like have build a friendship, you know. They'll text me, they'll call me, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went from the parking lot Sprouts to the Alhambra Farmers Market to you know, online and to restaurants.
Wow. Are people going to farmers market and buying high-end beef?
Now they are. Now they are. We got the word out. You know, my first year was last year, and people didn't know we were there. We had to tell people. People would walk by us, like ignore us. They didn't realize that they had a meat vendor there. And now people come just to see us, which feels great. You know, people tell us like, "Oh, my kid doesn't want anything. They want Ligma Wagyu."
Jeez.
Yeah, the kids these days, they know their stuff.
I guess.
Yeah, the kids drag the parents. The parents come to me like, "Man, ever since I gave my daughter this A5, she won't eat anything else, man. What have you guys done to me?"
Oh, of course.
I'm sorry.
I think I would be the same way if I didn't know the cost.
Yeah.
So do you consider Wagyu to be like high end and something special that you would seek out?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. I remember one time, Angel was in town and her friend had given her an A5 steak and she brought it over and asked me to cook it, and I cooked it and we shared it. And yeah, it's very special. I mean, if I could eat it every day, I would eat it every day too. But
oh, really? So there's a Japanese restaurant near our office in City of Industry that has it. Do you typically find it at every restaurant, or is it rare that you find it?
But does it say A5 or is it just Wagyu?
It says Wagyu.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I don't know if it says A5. Until today I didn't know of that distinction.
Mm.
But
it's becoming a little more common to have Wagyu in the menu because it's a higher price item. It's a way for, today all the costs are rising, and if you have Wagyu on the menu, it can demand a higher price as well, and it can also elevate the status of your restaurant.
Really?
People think that you're higher end. You know what you're doing. You're serving a nice selection. You must have something good if you have Wagyu.
I see.
Yes.
I wonder if it's on the menu at the Derby where I went last night. Is it possible?
I think they may, if they do, they would serve it as a steak, but I would say more, I often would see it in like a Asian restaurant or like a real high-end steakhouse. I think so. Yeah. Like you wouldn't find it at Sizzler. Is Sizzler still around?
I know there's one between here and Palm Springs.
I've never been there.
You never been to Sizzler?
No, I always wanted to go when I was a kid. There used to be one, I think, on San Gabriel Boulevard or Rosemead Boulevard.
Oh, there definitely was a whole bunch around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see them anymore, but I know there's at least one.
Wasn't ABC Cafe a Sizzler? Before it was ABC Cafe?
I don't know if...
On Garfield?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. To my knowledge, for as long as I've been there, no.
There was a Sizzler somewhere, and I don't remember. Oh, Ukuk used to be Sizzler.
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I if ever I went out to a restaurant, you could guarantee I was ordering steak, like as a kid. Yeah, my mom was always.
Well, these days I don't order steak at restaurants anymore.
See,
because you get enough.
Yeah, well, because
you want to try something different.
That too, but it's like I'm not gonna pay for that.
So you get the poke bowl.
I'll get the it depends. Yeah.
See, Scott. So whenever I go out, right, because people know I eat a lot of beef, they're always like, "Oh, you're gonna get the beef," and I'm like, "No," because I eat it at home all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, we ask each guest to bring an item of significance with them. What did you bring with you today?
So today I brought my film camera that I have. It's a little analog film camera.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a film camera in a long time.
You used with your friend?
Yes.
When you were into photography?
Yes. This is more I use film to capture personal moments, very intimate moments, not so professional. And it's just a reminder to always make memories, to live life,
Wow.
because making memories kind of makes me very happy. It gives me kind of like the will to live.
Wow.
Being able to capture moments with your friends, look back on it.
It's an Olympus. Yeah.
That's right. It's Olympus.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
It's very expensive now.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah, but believe it or not, yeah, because the kids these days love film photography, and this camera in particular, it's going like, I don't know, like $300 on eBay.
For that?
For this.
Where do you take now a film to be developed?
Yeah.
Before, I'll take it to a place down on Atlantic and College View, right, Monterey Park, small little film lab. But when I started shooting more, I took it to a place in Glendale called Digital Art Studio, Digital Photo Lab. They develop all my film for me, or I do it myself at home.
You have a darkroom.
I have a bag. I put my hands in a bag. I can't see. I have to feel it.
Oh.
And I just do everything in the bag.
Wow, that's cool though.
Yeah.
All the chemicals?
I mix the chemicals beforehand.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. YouTube, you learn a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. My mom was really into photography, so in high school I took a photography class and we had a darkroom in my house.
Wow. You did?
With an enlarger, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, but it was only black and white stuff. Yeah. So I would dip it in the chemicals and see it, and hang it up. Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But I can see now with everything moving, so digital and everything is like high resolution that actually is a special look. Right?
It is.
Well, it's like vinyl records.
It's right. That's right. digital sound can never be like the sound you hear from a vinyl record.
Yeah.
Just like the look from a digital camera can never be the look, feel, nostalgia from a film camera.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, I wanted to get into what you have in store for the future of Ligma Provisions, but we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
At Wormuth Law, they believe that just because you speak a foreign language, come from a different culture, or simply don't know how to navigate the legal system, that should not prevent you from compensation from injury or receiving benefits. Their multicultural staff have been helping SGVers like you for over 38 years. Visit law888.com or call them at 626-784-7017 and tell them you heard about them on this podcast.
All right, we're back with Josh from Ligma Provisions. Josh, we used to come back from the break and have these questions from a different card set, and those have run out on us. So we're going on a different set here. These are from Icebreakers, Best Self. So we're just going to ask a question here. You can choose to answer it or not. They're going to be just lighthearted questions and a chance for the audience to get to know each of us a little bit more. So here we go. What activity or sport did you try as a kid and fail at?
Basketball.
Oh, no.
I'm terrible.
Oh, you failed? Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're terrible at basketball.
Well, I'm not good.
Oh.
Do you enjoy it, though?
Yeah.
You enjoy it?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Scott?
Oh, wow. Activity. I don't know. I could never do anything that had to do the type of things that you do, for instance, Josh. Like, I could never develop film, I'm sure, or, fix an engine or fix a flat tire, this kind of thing. And Russell is a Boy Scout. He could do all these. I probably couldn't tie a knot or no good at that.
I played soccer for one season, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But I think I didn't get good coaching, and I wasn't brought into like the love of the game.
Yeah.
I remember they just stuck me in goalie with no like real instruction. I just knew whenever the ball passed me, then I felt really bad.
You know what to do.
I mean, I just had this huge anxiety of just like, I don't want the ball to come. And at the end of the game, no consoling or like, oh, it's not your fault. It's going to make a difference. I'm like, no, it is my fault. So
But you are a good athlete, so it's not the athletic part of it. It's just
that was
that
a horrible
game was
experience.
yeah.
So,
It's like I cannot hit a baseball.
oh no. Can you
Yeah.
hit a baseball, Josh?
Yeah.
You can? Awesome.
You can hit a nice pop fly.
Yeah.
Well, what are you good at? What sport are you good at?
What sport am I good at? Let's see here.
Well, if you can hit baseball, a pop fly, that's still good. It's
Better than I could do.
Scott.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable saying I'm good at anything.
Oh,
but I've done many things.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't say I'm great at snowboarding, but I love snowboarding. I wouldn't say I'm great at golf. I like golf.
oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think,
A nice 100 game is good for you.
whatever the bogey score is.
Yeah.
I recently got into I think bouldering. I think I really enjoy that. That seems to be fun.
Oh, wow. Like on, is that, when you say bouldering, does that mean like actual boulders or in a indoor?
Indoor setting for now.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I still want to venture out and try that outside.
Awesome. Well, Josh, what's in the future for Ligma Provisions? What have you got in mind for your company?
Yes, I like to expand the product line, add more products, different items for the customers, not just Wagyu, maybe some duck, some pork, some like high end items, and I would like to expand and offer my products to more restaurants, have them, because part of what makes me happy is being able to be part of a restaurant story as well, a chef story, being able to support them, and also like to eventually have like the logo on some shirts in the future.
Okay, awesome. Is there such a thing as high-end pork?
Yes, it's called.
Is it from Korea?
No, they have it here. It's called kurabata pork.
Oh, okay.
Or heritage pork. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Well, Josh, we're going to learn a little bit more about you and what you like to do right here in the San Gabriel Valley.
Josh, we call it the SGV3. 3 favorite places, events, or activities, something memorable in your life that has to do with the San Gabriel Valley.
Let's see here. Yes, my top 3 would probably have to, if I had to choose 1 or 3. Let's see. I'm going to start off probably the Arboretum.
Oh, yeah.
In Arcadia. That's just a otherworldly place. You don't know where you are when you walk in there. Had a lot of good times when I was a kid, and as an adult, you walk around. It's beautiful, lush gardens, and aesthetically, it's very pleasing to the eye. So whenever we're having a bad time, we just go there and
Do you still like to go there?
Yes, I try to bring my sisters there, but they don't seem to enjoy it as much.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no.
they're not there yet.
Okay.
There's 3 places I always think of together. Descanso Gardens, Huntington, and the Arboretum.
Yeah.
Do you visit the other ones as well?
I haven't been to Descanso yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's in is it La Cañada?
Yes. Yeah. Also a nice place. But okay, yeah. What's the second?
The second
thing?
place will probably be the Rose Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl. It's a beautiful place. I mean, it's like the feeling of having so much action in your backyard it's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I've been to many concerts there.
Yeah.
I go to the flea market there, and go do my thrift shopping there. It's like it feels cool when people like say that they're gonna go to where you are to get something they need. So
Yeah.
a lot of good memories had at the Rose Bowl. You can go for a run there. It's a beautiful place.
Wow. So far, you've hit 2 spots that are very close to me, near and dear. Yeah. What's your third?
Third place, I had to think long hard about this one, but I would probably say the Ice House Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah.
In Pasadena.
Now, that's just reopening, right?
Yes.
Is it opened already? Or?
That I'm not sure.
Okay.
That I'm not sure, but I used to go there pre-COVID because a lot of good acts would come through, and believe it or not, I always had a thought in the back of my mind that I wanted to do stand-up comedy.
Oh, wow.
I just love the show, the act, and have a place in such a small town vibe, but that brings in international talent.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy,
Yeah.
It's like they're coming to my
think
town.
of the big names there. Yeah. Have you worked up a routine yet?
My friend says I'm not funny, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be one strike.
Yeah, that'd be
against
one
you.
strike against me, right?
Yeah.
The Ice House. Yeah, that's on Mentor, right? Mentor
Yes.
in not quite Old Pasadena.
Yeah, not quite.
More of the Playhouse District?
Yes,
kind of?
Playhouse
I
District,
think so.
near there.
Yeah.
It's you can easily miss it, right? Like if
You can. It's on a side
one-way
street.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've driven by it many times before, not knowing what it was, until I finally went there, and I was like, oh, this is the Ice House.
Yeah, and it was closed for a while, but
Yeah.
I read that it's reopening. May even be reopened by now.
Yeah. The Ice House is I think it's probably one of the first places I went to when I was like of age.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think you have to be 21 to go in there, but I don't know.
You do. I believe so, because
They serve alcohol.
yes.
Yeah. And there's like a 2-drink minimum.
2 drink,
or something.
exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, anyway, well, Josh, thank you so much for coming on this show and sharing your story with us and our listeners. If someone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
They could probably shoot us a message on our Instagram page, Ligma Provisions, or shoot us an email at ligmaprovisions@gmail.com, or go to the website, maybe ligmawagyu.com, and click contact us. Yeah.
Awesome. ligmawagyu.com.
Yes, I own that domain in Ligma Provisions, just in case it's too long. Yeah.
Well, awesome. I'm really excited. So the listener can't know this, but Josh brought us some amazing beef, some Wagyu. So I'm excited to go home and cook it.
Tell me how it is.
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much, Josh, for coming on the show, and thank you for the beef.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. There's another episode for you. Thanks for tuning in to this episode and learning about Josh and Ligma Provisions. If you like this kind of stuff, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can check out our full catalog of episodes on our website, sgvmasterkey.com. And until next week, we'll see you then.
You've been listening to the SGV Master Key Podcast. Our passion is the small businesses and the people that make up the San Gabriel Valley, and it's our honor to have them on the show. We hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. The show is produced by Russell Mano. Edited by Victoria Allers of Kind Monster Productions. Thanks for listening, and see you next time on the SGV Master Key Podcast.
Master, no, kind of master.